po meron din po kapag po hinit po natin 'yon or binoil po natin yung food coloring po na 'yun, mabilis po siyang ano po, kakalat po. So, kaya po kapag po nagda-dye po ng damit po, meron pong ano po, hot water po para po mas
Mhm.
mabilis po yung ano po, yung pagkalat po ng ano po, ng color po, gano'n po. Di ko po ma-explain ng ano po, ng
I get
ng
your thought
eksakto po,
naman.
pero
Okay.
po
Okay. So, choosing the right word is very important in explaining such. In the field of chemistry or in the field of sciences, one word that you mistakenly used will affect all the thoughts that you have on the idea that you want to imply with that statement. So uh, that's why I did react with the statement because the word used is relate. Okay, it's not just relate. The best word that we could use is it is also affecting, or it somewhat affects, or it is a factor that would affect kinetic movement or kinetic energies among matters. Okay? So, what I did like naman on the answers given by the three previous students, and three students who were able to give their insights a while ago, are the giving of examples. In the field of science, it is very needed, okay, to have examples, concrete examples to visualize what you want to imply or insinuate. So that is nice to hear coming from this set of students. I think for the batches of STEM, uh, I did hear a lot of insights for this from this batch compared to the first three batches or three batch of STEM. More of this, Sana. Okay, more of this. Do not just listen. Be active. Okay, be proactive. You need to butt in with or contest something if there is or there are words or there are instances or ideas that you think contradicting to what you know. Okay, you need to practice that. Is that clear for everyone? Hello, can I have a response whether I am understood? Okay. So Deborah is right that most of you do have the same meaning, the same answers, ano? Kasi you will just watch the same video. So I'm expecting 80% of the concept that you could get or interpret should be the same. So I commend the STEM for having a good insights for the first two questions. Now let us proceed with the third one. Okay, how is kinetic molecular model useful in explaining properties of liquids and solids? Take note of the keyword, the how, okay, and the word useful. So this is the question, okay? Then after this, I'm going to show you the highlights of the video and the article. So if you would have the same notes that I have on the highlights, then it's good because we are on the same level of thing. Okay. Deborah, will you please pick a number? Then I am going to count uh, from the this point of view in of with wherever or whichever is appearing on my screen. Tingnan natin who would be
Okay
randomly
po.
picked
So,
between 1 to 10.
okay po. Number 7 po.
7. So 1 ka, 2, Kim, 3 na si Elijah, Junimel, George, let's see, baka si Summer, John Jared, Bianca. Okay, Bianca po. Bianca si 7th actually. Bianca? Hello? Hello, Bianca. We are on the last question, Bianca. May magsasave sa'yo kagad si Junimel. Okay. Students, kindly listen attentively. Junimel Castillo will have his answer and will share his answer now. Okay. So, Bianca, let us hear muna si Junimel since naghahanda ka pa yata. Okay. Junimel.
Ma'am, ano po? How is kinetic molecular model useful in explaining in solids?
Okay.
Ano po? It explains different things po and how matter can change to the
Okay. Sorry to butt in, Junimel. Will you please fix your audio? There's something wrong with the audio. We cannot receive in terms of reception of the sound. Medyo may lalakas hihina. May naglalag siya. So, Junimel, try mo muna magsalita ng name modem. Tingnan natin. Narinig, hindi marinig mo yan. Ayan.
Ma'am, ano po? Ulitin ko po, ano po? It helps to explain why matter exists in different places po. Then, and how matter can change from one place to the next po.
Explain how matter can change from one phase to another. Okay. So it can explain why. How about the question, how? When we say how, there must be a process involved to give the answer for this third question. But the answer of Junimel is partly correct in terms of why is it important or how it becomes useful, but there's a need for additional answers. Okay. Thank you, Junimel. Nice answer. George, can I hear your thoughts now?
Kinetic molecular model is useful in explaining particle by the means of describing how the particles of liquid and solid behave. For example, in discussing particles of solids and liquids, we can use the kinetic molecular model to inform people more on how they move, like in solids. Particles of solids are compact
Compacted, okay.
that it has little kinetic energy and more intermolecular forces. Also in liquid, it, intermo- kinetic molecular model can be useful on how the properties of liquid, on how the molecules of liquids have its flows,
Mm,
so it can
it
adapt to the container it has. Yeah.
can acquire the shape of the container. Thank you, George. It's just an effort to answer. You don't need to be shy with your answer. Your thoughts are good. Same with Junimel. Can I have more answers? Um, Thank you for answering in English, I did commend. I do appreciate your your effort for that. Okay, Bianca. Okay, Bianca, since originally this question is for you, diba? So kindly answer
Yes po.
the third one.
Third one.
Third
Wait lang.
question.
Um, okay po. Ma'am, di ba po yung pinaka, pinaka meaning po ng kinetic molecular model is to describe the state of matter and how they transform to one another. So by means of that po, nagagamit po natin yon kung like po ng kinetic energy. Sa pamamagitan po nun, nalalaman po natin kung ano ba yung movements ng particle sa bawat matter. And once na malaman po natin yung movements po nun, nalalaman din po natin kung paano po sila nag-break away to another particles.
Mhm.
And
Okay. Bianca, let me reiterate or repeat the question. Okay. The question is about how. So I'm asking about by means of what? So George already gave an example. Junimel has explained how the answer for why. Now it's time for us to answer how it become useful. When we say nagagamit, yung kaalaman for that, in be specific, how would it be useful? You need to cite a specific instance or situation that it could be useful.
uh,
Okay? Aldrius, can I hear your thoughts po? You could answer in the language that you feel comfortable to speak or to share insights on or share insights in this class. Okay? Aldrius, how about your thoughts? Will you please share it in class?
Um,
What? You still have 3 minutes.
ano din po, ganun din po.
Okay.
Kinetic molecular theory used to describe the state of matter, solid, liquid, and gas, and how they transform into one another. Ma'am, yung kinetic molecular model po is used to describe the properties of solid and liquid. Like solids are
Okay.
ordered, have the order pattern, so they have low amount of kinetic energy, and the particles are going to only vibrating, while the liquids have um much kinetic energy, and they're going to move faster, um and then they are randomly moving, and they don't have definite shape. They just conform to be shape of the container po that they are put into.
Okay. Thank you, Aldrius, for describing the kinetic molecular model of those. Uh, so again, I'm going to highlight the word. The question is about how it become useful. So Trix and Kim, last to call, okay, for this session. Then on the PowerPoint that I'm going to upload in the Google Classroom, there is a question on the last part. Do the booster task 1. The end would be until Friday, until tomorrow, 5 p.m. So kahit holiday, I am expecting work because this is a week activity. So ang isang activity natin for this subject is the thing that I am going to upload later on the last part of the PowerPoint and the booster task 1. Yung booster task 1, yun po yung official. Ilalagay ko para doon kayo mag-turn in ng answer. So, just wait for the uploading of the PowerPoint, okay? May pinapasok na yung student ko rito ng grade 9. Okay. How about Trix? Trix, can I hear your ideas? Trix?
Rinig po ako.
Okay, yes.
Kinetic molecular model useful in explaining properties of liquids and solids in a way that
In the way of?
we can easily distinguish or the amount of particles possessed. So we have to understand kinetic energy, uh,
Yes, Trix. You have
ay
one of the
tulad ng
word, na na-expect ko eh. Distinguish. Okay? Distinguish. It's just that hindi mo lang siya makompleto, pero the word that I'm looking for had been mentioned by you, okay? And your classmate needs to figure out how to complete the thoughts for the answer for this number 3. And for our final reminder before I end this Q&A session of us, okay? Here are the highlights. I provided the highlights, particular highlights for the video and the article that you have read. Then properties of liquids and solids. Then from this, I'm going to ask you the third question on our next meeting. So the first example about is gas. I already provided the way of answering this. You need to explain, okay? You need to provide an example of yours about KMT for the particular state of matter. So ang hindi nila nagagawa dito is the liquid and solid, since yun ang pinaka focus of the competencies. So here, so for gas, I've shown an example, then you explain your example. So this is 10 points, 10 points booster task. I'm going to upload this later. Okay? So thank you for attending this session. And kung na-figure out ninyo, this is student-centered teaching. Okay, why? Because you do the most of the talk. It's not me talking. I was able to hear your answers and facilitate your answers. Ganun na magiging way na natin from now on na sana hindi iikot sa teacher-centered approach. Okay? So I want you to practice speaking. I want you to practice critical thinking. That is why I provided that method. Okay? Are we clear with it? Okay, thank you for attending this session. Goodbye. Thank you for the hearts.